All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something that's, well, fundamental to pretty much all of AI, the vector norm. Think of it like this. It's the special ruler that allows machines to measure their world. So, yeah, let's get into it.
I mean, really think about it. An AI doesn't have eyes, right? Or hands. It can't just feel if two things are close or if one feature is bigger than another. So how in the world does it measure these abstract ideas? Things like how similar two documents are or how big of an error it just made in a prediction. That's the core question we're going to tackle.
And the solution? It's actually super elegant. We basically give the machine a special kind of ruler. And this ruler, it's called a vector norm. Its entire job, its whole purpose, is to take all that abstract data, which remember is represented as vectors, and boil it down to a single, simple number. A number that tells us its size, its magnitude. And that's really the core idea right there. I mean, if you picture a vector as just a point in space, maybe representing a photo or a user's preferences, the norm is what tells us exactly how far that point is from the center, from the origin. And this simple measurement of length, it's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about.
Okay, so if we want to get just a little more formal for a second, a vector norm is just a function. That's it. You feed it a vector, and that vector could be anything, right? Pixel values from an image, word counts from a document, you name it. And out pops a single, non-negative number, a number that stands for its size. That is its entire job. Now, here's the thing. For any old function to be called a proper norm, it has to follow three basic rules. And honestly, they just make intuitive sense. Rule 1, length can't be negative. Duh, right? Makes sense. Rule 2, if you double a vector, you should double its length. You scale it up, the length scales up. Simple. And Rule 3, the triangle inequality. It sounds fancy, but all it means is that the direct path is always the shortest. Going straight from A to C is always going to be shorter than going from A to B and then to C. These three rules just make sure our mathematical ruler, well, it behaves like a real ruler should.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Because it turns out there isn't just one universal ruler. Not at all. There is a whole family of them. And the crazy part is, the one you choose can totally, dramatically change how your AI sees the world. So let's meet the big three. These are the main ones you'll run into. First up, you've got the L1 norm, which has this great name, the Manhattan or taxicab norm. Then there's the L2 norm. You probably already know this one, even if you don't know its name. It's just good old Euclidean distance, a straight line. And finally, we have the L infinity norm or the max norm. And trust me, each one has its own special, kind of quirky way of measuring length. Look, this is not just some abstract academic thing. It has real consequences. There's this quote from Dude and Hart, which is basically the textbook on this stuff, and it says it all. How we choose to measure magnitude significantly changes how a classifier perceives the importance of individual features. What does that mean? It means the ruler you pick directly changes what your AI thinks is important. It's a fundamental choice. So the big takeaway here is your choice of ruler really matters. This is my favorite way to think about it. The analogy just captures the difference perfectly. The L1 norm, it measures distance like you're a taxi in Manhattan. You're stuck on the grid, right? You can only go along the streets, block by block, no cutting through buildings. But the L2 norm, that's as the crow flies. It's the direct, straight-line path from point A to point B, no questions asked. And check this out, because this shows you the consequence of that difference. If you were to draw a shape of all the points that are exactly a distance of 1 away from the center, with the L2 norm, you get exactly what you'd expect, a perfect circle. But with the L1 norm, you get a diamond. How cool is that? This completely different geometry, that's the secret sauce. It's the key to why they behave so differently in machine learning. And this weird shape thing doesn't stop there. Our third ruler, the L infinity norm, gives you a perfect square. Now, why a square? It's because this norm has a really simple definition of length. It just looks at the whole vector and says, what's the single biggest value in here? That's it. That's the length. It completely ignores everything else and just hones in on the one dimension that sticks out the most. Okay, that's a lot of shapes. Let's ground this in some actual numbers. Let's take a simple vector, 3, -4. So our L1 norm, the taxi driver, just adds up the absolute values. So that's 3 plus 4, which gives us 7. Easy. Now, our L2 norm, the crow, does the Pythagorean theorem, right? It calculates the hypotenuse. The square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, that's the square root of 25, which is 5.
And finally, the L infinity norm, it just looks at 3 and 4 and picks the biggest one. So 4. You see that? Same exact vector, 3 totally different answers for its length. All right, so we've established we have these different rulers and they all give different answers. The big question is, so what? Why does this actually matter? Well, let's see how this plays out where the rubber meets the road, in actual machine learning.
So one of the biggest headaches in AI is something called overfitting. It's where your model gets, well, too clever for its own good. It basically memorizes the training data perfectly instead of learning the actual underlying patterns. And the result? It gets way too complex and then completely bombs when it sees new data it's never encountered before. So the question is, how do we rein it in?
You guessed it, we use norms. The whole process is called regularization. What we do is add a penalty that's based on the size of the model's parameters, measured by a norm, of course. This encourages the model to stay simple. Now, this is where those shapes come back. L1 regularization, also called lasso, remember its diamond shape? That pointy geometry has this amazing effect. It actually forces the weights of unimportant features to go to exactly 0. It does automatic feature selection for you. Now, L2 regularization, or ridge, is a bit gentler. It shrinks all the weights, pushing them towards 0, but not usually all the way. This stops any single feature from getting too powerful and just generally keeps the model more stable. And honestly, the applications are just everywhere you look in AI. Norms are the absolute backbone of how we calculate distance for things like k-means clustering. They're used to get all your data on the same scale. That's called feature normalization. They're critical for recommendation engines that use cosine similarity. And in the world of neural networks, oh man, they're used for everything. Stabilizing training, preventing gradients from exploding, even in defending against adversarial attacks. They're just fundamental. Okay, so we've got L1, L2, L infinity. With all these options, how do you actually know which ruler to pull out of the toolbox for your specific problem? Let's break it down with a quick and practical guide. All right, here's your cheat sheet. If you've got data with a bunch of weird outliers, L1 is usually your friend. It's more robust because it doesn't square those big errors and make them even bigger. What if you need to pick out just the most important features from a ton of options? Again, L1 is your go-to. It promotes that sparsity we talked about, zeroing out the stuff that doesn't matter. But if you just need a solid, all-around, smooth default choice, L2 is king. It's the standard for a reason. And finally, if your whole mission is to worry about the absolute worst-case scenario, the single biggest mistake, well, L infinity was basically built for that.
So, in the real world, what do people actually use? Well, L2, the Euclidean norm, is by far the most common starting point. It's the default choice. Its properties are just so well behaved and useful that it's the foundation for tons of standard methods. But L1 is an incredibly powerful tool when you know you need that sparsity or you're dealing with noisy data. And L infinity? It's the specialist you call in for those very specific jobs.
So let's bring this all home. What's the bottom line? Norms are not just some dusty concept from a math textbook. They are the geometric backbone of machine learning. They are the rulers we hand to our algorithms. And with those rulers, the AIs define what's similar, they draw the lines in the sand for their decisions, and they keep themselves from getting too complicated. And that really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. We've seen how picking a ruler defines an AI's entire world, but what about in these crazy, high-dimensional spaces we work in now? Spaces with thousands, even millions of dimensions, where our human intuition about distance just completely falls apart. Are these simple rulers? Are they still the right ones? Or could our choice of L1 or L2 actually be holding our models back, preventing them from seeing a truer, more complex picture of reality? It's definitely something to think about.